Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by English Mountain Spring Water, engineered by nature, bottled with perfection. That is their slogan, and it's a slogan that is 100% true. It's more than a slogan. The all-natural, award-winning water, it's been voted the best water in the world, award-winning water, it bubbles up from a deep, deep spring in East Tennessee, right up Dandridge, and it's bottled just a few hundred yards from the source. I've been up there. It is an impressive situation. English Mountain Spring Water, we drink it on the set. I drink it at home. It's fantastic. EnglishMountainH2O.com to learn more about them delivering to your home or your office. Okay, the paperwork for Cade May's appeal was filed this week, 2 weeks before the season opener. Rapid fire questions here, so I want quick answers. Will he be cleared to play?
By the season opener?
Let's just say period. Do you think he'll be cleared this year?
I think he plays in the Tennessee uniform this year. Might be a little delay.
Okay.
I think he plays, not for the season opener.
Yes, I think he'll play. And I think they'll win the appeal, obviously. But yes, and when that'll be, I think it may be right up until the season opener, the way the NCAA does things.
Okay, I'll be negative and say no, I don't think he'll play. They don't like in-conference transfers. For some reason, this thing didn't go through, and I thought it was going to be an easy one. And Tennessee seemed to think it was going to be an easy one. It didn't go through the first time. Now the appeal it's taken down to 2 weeks out. That's late. I don't know how the NCAA looks at those things. They may look at it with an even hand, or they may say, "What are you doing sending this in so late?"
Nobody knows how the NCAA looks at it. That's the problem.
So I would be worried. At this point, I would be very concerned about him playing. I would plan on him not playing and then be happily surprised if he does play. All right, Jeremy Pruitt said this week that if he misses a game due to COVID, assistant head coach T. Martin, not former UT interim head coach and all-time leading win percentage guy, which Pruitt pointed out, Jim Chaney, he won't take over. T. Martin will take over in the interim. Here's my question for these guys, though. We talk about all these players in quarantine. Will an SEC head coach miss a game due to COVID or contact tracing?
Yes, because this is why. They have kids, they have family. There's no control that you're not going to run into somebody, and contact tracing or something is going to put you out of that game.
Will says it'll happen.
I'm going to say no because they're going to find a way. If Hugh Freeze can coach from a hospital bed in a box last year while he's laid up, listen, they're going to get him in a bubble, roll him up the stairs into
like
a
Travolta,
separate
the
coaching
bubble boy.
box.
Yeah.
They're going to find a way. If you guys saw that, there was a Mississippi high school coach who had to be quarantined, and he coached from a crane.
Yeah.
Same type of deal. I think they'll figure out a way to make it work.
I would
Chuck.
say no, probably not a head coach, but possibly a staff member. And I think the open date falls in there to kind of help them be able to get that done, the head coaches to be able to step
It was
up.
reported this week, it's not been that a Florida assistant coach, I think it was the student newspaper down there or another publication, said that a Florida assistant has been given a positive test for COVID. That was one report. I haven't seen anybody come back and validate that report or back it up. I say there's no way in hell this happens because they will lie. I don't think any coach will. I think, well, you tested positive. No, I didn't. No, you didn't. The richest man in the state, I think he's going to tell whoever takes the test, you didn't read that right.
Or they're going to retest it, and the second test will be negative.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen. With teams like Baylor and Houston trying to set up games on the fly and doing it, and already games being postponed, and you're talking about the ACC has a plan to keep going if half their league's down, will we see an ACC, Big 12, or SEC matchup, the three big leagues, will we see a matchup of two teams playing at least twice this year? Meaning like Kentucky and Tennessee playing in Lexington and in Knoxville.
I'm going to say absolutely because people can say they don't want to do things or they're not going to want to. If there's no we heard it early in the season. If there's no students on campus, we don't want to play.
Right.
Listen, when there's $10 million on the table or whatever, your average amount for your SEC game, $5 million. You figure out what you can do pretty quick, and it's not that big a deal to play the same team twice. It's going to happen.
It's another game on TV for the network
Exactly.
to pay for. I think it happens.
That's why the season's being played.
Yeah.
It's money, right? Saving that gap of how much you're going to lose if you don't, or even if you do, you're going to take every game. If somebody's out there willing to play you, and it has to be that same team, guess what? It's line up and play ball.
All right. Do you think it'll go so far off the rails this year that you'll see that happen?
Yes.
Okay. Chuck, do you think you'll see it somewhere?
And you mentioned it earlier, where they're already picking up the phone and working out, how we can work this in. And if Tennessee and Kentucky is a perfect example, and why not? That would
Exactly.
be my question. Why not?
When you
Yeah,
talk
if
about the
it's
conferences that are going conference only, it is testing, it is ease of getting something uniform, but it's also you don't have a bunch of different people pulling in different directions if a game gets postponed. Sankey, 2 ADs, skill on the call. Okay, we're going to do this. All right, we're
Right.
moving that.
Yeah.
We're going to do that. A week notice. Here we go.
Plus, you've already seen that recently. I don't know if people pay attention to this. The stupid ACC, the way they split their divisions. North Carolina and Wake Forest, who are like a stone throw from each other, hadn't played in their conference games in years. So a couple of years ago, they said, let's play a non-conference game with each other. Two conference teams, you don't see each other anymore, so they played conference games. Yeah, I think you'll see it this year. All right, thumbs up or thumbs down on the new giant golden statue that's going up, the Golden Gamecock, which is going up outside Williams-Brice Stadium. So Tennessee fans will see that next. Well, no, they won't, but it'll be outside the stadium. Thumbs up or thumbs down on the giant golden rooster?
Well, let's hope it goes better than the golden calf for the Israelites, I suppose.
For some reason, I want to drive up and order a bucket of chicken or something. So no.
I like it. I'm thumbs up.
Okay.
If you've got a goofy nickname, okay. You don't like it, Will?
Yeah, I think that's a little too much. I think.
It's like the Atlanta Falcons were used to play. They've got that thing.
But it's a falcon,
Falcon
at least.
versus chicken.
Chicken, you know.
Hey, something like that. Hey, something like that should be tethered to the ground. You know.
And I will say too, like, okay, they financed this earlier. It's like $1 million bronze chicken,
Yeah.
but maybe when there's like tens of millions of Americans going on unemployment, maybe don't roll out a giant bronze chicken in
you're
front of
no
your
fun.
stadium.
No. Look,
Just a thought. I
they're
don't
looking
know.
for sponsorship. KFC, Popeyes, put in your bids now. That's how we're going to cover some costs, baby.
Yeah.
the KFC mask. I can already see it.
And by the way, it's not going to sit there as three pieces. It's going to be put together. That was in arriving. But if you've got a goofy, stupid mascot, I'm all for leaning into it. Just
I
admit it.
was
That's
hoping
why
they'd split it into 8 pieces and put it in a big bucket, maybe.
one of my favorite things about, even though they're not probably not going to have many fans over the next week, I hope to hear that rooster crowing. I think that's hysterical.
Yeah.
Roars and bears snarling and stuff, that doesn't do anything for me. A chicken, that's hysterical. I love it. All right, when we come back, the ACC basketball coaches are asking the NCAA to let everyone in the NCAA tournament this year, 350 teams. The NCAA, should they do it? We'll discuss. Come on back.